Good morning. Coming up next on Good Morning El Paso, we warned you about it 2 days ago, and now the rain has made its way into the borderland. Your complete storm track weather coverage on what to expect.
Also, the Paso School District shares its plan to revamp its campuses, but will taxpayers go along with it? Plus,
I think it's kind of scary because it used to be pretty eradicated, and now it's becoming a problem again.
There are new concerns about one of the most contagious viruses on Earth, measles. Why health officials are on high alert.
Live, where news comes first. From the Mesilla Valley and Las Cruces to El Paso and the borderland. This is ABC7's Good Morning El Paso.
the rain has come. This is a live look at radar this morning. You can see the green all across the borderland, and it is going to stay like that for a while.
Sounds that way. Good morning. Good Friday morning, I should say. Welcome back to Good Morning El Paso. I'm Floren.
And I'm Stephanie Valle. It is 6:01. Let's get straight to Crystal Clyde with the latest in our storm track weather forecast.
Hi guys, good morning, and a wet, rainy morning it is. Just as forecast, that rain moved in last night, and it's going to continue to hit our area all day long. Let's pull up your radar map. Now I'm going to pause it here right as we hit the most recent update, because I want to point something out on your board about this pattern of rain. Now what we're seeing currently is still some moderate rainfall over El Paso, Doña Ana County. That includes El Paso, Las Cruces. But do notice right along this line here, we're seeing clearer conditions behind this bulk of rain. That's going to be a little break from the showers just for a little bit of your morning. Then late morning and back into your afternoon, we'll see more rounds of rain moving through, which is why we're calling for most of us nearly 100% chance of rain, because by the end of today, some band of rain is going to hit your area, it looks like. Now all this rain is going to track to the northeast, giving snow to the Sacramento mountains and rain continuing to fall around parts of Silver City. We zoom in a little closer, put this back into motion. There's where the rain is right now. Moderate to actually a little heavier rain along I-10 in west Las Cruces. Then we see more of that heavy rain in far east El Paso County. Temperatures are nice and cool, but not freezing this morning, meaning that this afternoon we'll stay cool in the 40s, but we shouldn't see snow for the most part at the lower elevations. Higher elevations, though, looking at some areas, quite a bit of snow. We'll talk more about that in just a few minutes.
All right, Crystal, thank you.
And now continuing our complete storm track weather coverage, we have a lot to get to today.
Andrew J. Polka is live outside with the latest. Andrew, what can you tell us?
Well, good morning, Hillary and Stephanie. Like Crystal said, very wet and rainy and also windy out here. We're just off of Mesa on El Paso's west side, and the wind has really been picking up off and on across this morning. The rain has died down for a little bit, but what has come down has started accumulating in some of those low-lying areas. We've got some puddles here behind us in one of those flood-prone areas, so watch out for those as you head out for your commute this morning, because that could cause some problems. Now, we saw the wind and rain coming down overnight. This should be video that was shot by our crews overnight on the east side and in northeast. Rain coming down in northeast, but also high winds coming down along with the rain on the east side. Those have been going off and on this morning, and we're getting buffeted by them pretty well here right now. But we haven't heard about too many accidents caused by this, but that could change as these are creating some kind of hazardous conditions for drivers. So back out here live right now. Again, watch your speed, watch your braking, and watch out for standing water and puddles of water out as you go out today. Do not drive through pools of water. If you can't tell how deep they are, it's a good way to get your car stalled. And if we're getting the amount of rain that we're expecting, those definitely could form. So again, be careful, take your time, and maybe head out a little bit early. And otherwise, stay inside if you can. It's pretty miserable out here right now. The wind and rain have died down a little bit here right now, but earlier it was really bad. So again, stay safe and stay dry. Reporting live on the west side, Andrew J. Polk, ABC7.
All right, staying dry may be easier said than done, right? Let's take a live look at traffic right now. This is I-10 in Trans Mountain. Things are very wet, as Andrew mentioned, throughout the borderland. Looks like no area is untouched at this point, and that's going to continue to be the case, so be careful out there. Headlines now. A former El Paso School District administrator has been sentenced for her role in the district's cheating scheme. Myrna Gamboa was sentenced to 5 years probation yesterday. She won't have to do community service or wear a monitoring device, but she was ordered to pay a $5,000 fine. In October of last year, Gamboa pleaded guilty to conspiring with former Superintendent Lorenzo Garcia to manipulate test scores and create false demographics to get federal funding. Garcia was sentenced to prison time and has since been released.
A suspected murderer on the loose is off the streets this morning. 36-year-old Steven Morales was arrested in Albuquerque late Wednesday night. He's accused of killing a 22-year-old man in Silver City. On Tuesday, there was a massive manhunt for him in the town of Hatch after he allegedly drove past agents at a Border Patrol checkpoint. Wednesday night, authorities say Morales was found hiding in the back seat of a car being driven by his father. As we reported yesterday, the Las Cruces Public Schools Director of Transportation, Larry Altamirano, was suspended with pay over the weekend. So far, the district is not saying whether his suspension had anything to do with last Thursday's snow day. Superintendent Stan Rounds told ABC7 the district communicated with the Department of Transportation and state police about road conditions, but we've since learned there was no such communication that day. The district says Altamirano's role is important on severe weather days.
The transportation director in our district is one of the key people in gathering the information, whether by telephone, emails, by the internet, actually driving out on the streets.
Someone dropped the ball, someone didn't communicate. We swept it under the rug. We didn't think it was going to be that big of a deal, and it has just created a ruckus in the community.
Altamirano is suspended until further notice.
Developing right now in Mexico City, at least 3 people are dead and more than 70 injured after an explosion at a hospital. This after a propane truck delivering to the kitchen started to leak yesterday morning. Witnesses say tanker workers struggled for 15 or 20 minutes to repair the leak while a large cloud of gas formed before exploding. About 75% of the hospital collapsed. The victims include a 25-year-old woman and 2 newborn babies.
And now to the latest about the measles outbreak. Dozens of cases of the contagious disease have now been identified in 14 states this month alone.
The rise in cases is now sparking a new national debate about vaccinations. ABC's Susan Salney has more.
It's one of the most contagious airborne viruses on Earth, measles. And this morning, with more than 84 cases in 14 states just this month, alarm is growing that measles is spreading.
I think it's kind of scary because it used to be pretty eradicated and now it's becoming a problem again.
The Centers for Disease Control is urging Americans to get vaccinated after an outbreak that began at Disneyland in December. And now in Arizona alone, just as Super Bowl fans are arriving, state officials are monitoring 1,000 people and nearly 200 children for possible exposure. In California, 66 students at Palm Desert High School who can't prove they were vaccinated are not allowed to return to class for 2 weeks after a fellow student showed possible symptoms.
Parents are afraid. Parents are nervous about what might happen to their child.
The symptoms start out like a cold, runny nose, fever, sore throat. Then the rash begins, starting at the hairline. Most people recover, but measles can cause brain damage and pneumonia. It can also be deadly.
They're vaccinated. My kids are healthy.
The outbreak is reigniting a debate over those opting out of the vaccine for religious or philosophical reasons. Public health officials say there is only one way to stop measles.
The most important thing is to be up to date on the vaccines.
Health officials declared measles eliminated from the U.S. 15 years ago. They say these new cases have been imported from travelers overseas. Susan Salney, ABC News, Washington.
It is 6:08 and we're taking a look at our TxDOT traffic cameras over on the east side. You can see the roads are wet out there. Just be careful as you get on the roads because this is the case pretty much all over El Paso and the area today.
Super Bowl Sunday, just 2 days away, just in case you didn't know, right?
And we here at ABC7 wanted to know what makes a commercial memorable. Well, what we found out later in the show.
And El Paso is open for business. What the mayor had to say about the company expected to bring new jobs to the Sun City.
And going back to our storm track weather coverage, Crystal Fly is tracking the rain this morning. Crystal.
And that rain not going to let up by the end of the day. We're talking rain chances right on into your weekend. The details with your latest future track model are after the break.
This is ABC7, where news comes first.